is normally known for being a bit quiet or doesn't really like conflict. That doesn't mean that they avoid it entirely, but it takes a lot for this person to speak up. And I feel like when someone else launches an attack or probably a family member tries to make it seem like they're doing something to be caring, the reality is quite plain to this individual. I know that you're picking on me, or I know that you're trying to start a fight, and I'm just over it. So I think we have somebody who finally speaks up and says, okay, that's it. I've had enough. I don't know why you're acting this way. At least I hope I don't. But if you are doing it specifically to cause me to be upset, you're going to need to sit down. This is someone who just like lays into whoever has been giving them a little bit too much of their mind or been a little bit too critical. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chanting. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Holy Yoga. Hello, Priyanka. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Dana. How are we doing? If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box, as well as information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Just posted some more videos, including shorts and long form videos yesterday, and had a members only live stream for the stars and towers this morning, so make sure you check it out. Let's dive in with the Wild Reflections Tarot. Does kind of feel like we might be dealing with a family dynamic here, but let's see. Wow. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I'm going to go ahead and say very likely that this is either about money or family, but I think it's family. And we've got somebody who is making the most out of not very much. So I feel like I'm reading for someone who has probably not had a lot of involvement from their family that has been positive in their spiritual growth or their personal growth. I feel like you are probably more advanced with regards to your emotions, how to communicate them, how to handle them, than most of the people that you've been dealing with, at least in this situation, be it workplace or family. And so it's almost like you feel like you have to help people who are older than you and should know better to realize that they should know better. Hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? We've got the High Priestess in the reverse. The Four of Cups and the King of Wands in the reverse. I think this King of Wands in the reverse is whoever I'm reading for. The individual who decides, that's it, I'm done. I don't want to deal with your criticisms. I don't want to deal with your BS anymore. This Four of Cups energy is what is served up by the family or perhaps workplace individual. This could be a boss, right? But the High Priestess is in the reverse because it's like someone is intentionally making a situation out to be worse than it really is, or trying to make someone sound like they were the problem. And it's unfair. So they've pushed this person, this King of Wands in the reverse, too far. So they pull out the sword, the King of Swords. The swords in the tarot often represent truth. So this is saying, all right, so you want to say that I'm the reason the business isn't doing well, then let's compare sales last month. All right, you want to say that I always start the arguments in this family. Let's take a look at last Thanksgiving. Remember that time when you picked on little Bobby? There's this like, I'm going to bring the facts and I'm going to make it real clear that whatever you're trying to say about me is just like inflammatory or rude, you know? And there's no place for that here. Kind of like somebody who's trying to judge people for their beliefs. Hello, May Marie. How are you doing? Priyanka, thank you for the tip. Let me write down your question for you. I hope your day is going well. Waiting. Is he waiting for a message? From Priyanka? understand his feelings. I got you. Thank you for the tip. Did I say hello to Dana? I think I did. Hello, PTS. How are you? Hello, Jose. What's going on? We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Unleashed the dragon. Normally I would be quiet. Normally I would be polite. I wouldn't speak out of turn, but you picked the wrong time. Seven of Wands talks about timing and defenses, right? You seem to want to get a reaction. So now I'm going to ask you, what is it about me that you hate? What is it about me that makes you feel like you have to always start something? Are you jealous? Are you unhappy with your own life? Are you into me? Does not apply for the family reading. But we've got somebody here who's like, I want to know. What is it that makes you always feel like you need to attack me? You know? Hello, Donald. How are you doing? Five of Wands. So you wanted to pick a fight. Let's talk about it. What are you mad about? Because it seems like you're looking for any excuse to start a fight. So let's talk about the real reason. What is it from day to day that makes you mad about me? I feel like this is someone just saying, that's it. I'm not gonna like pretend and tiptoe around anymore. I'm just gonna straight up ask you, what was it that I did to you? Who hurt you? You know? Hello, Brian. I don't know if that's necessarily the first thing that I would ask about a person, but you know, if you're curious about my background, I am primarily Norwegian. However, yo hablo español. Hello. Oh, I don't know how to say that name. We're gonna try it. Usavia? Tell me how good I did. If I need to change, I will. We've got first chakra, Archangel Michael, number 35, protective energy. But as far as this protective energy, I feel like it's you protecting yourself. Oh, thank you, Donald. Let me know if you would like me to pull a few cards for you. I do not. Hello, Alak, how are you doing? You want to ask? Yeah, let's just... He doesn't look like they portrayed him on that card. I mean, let's take a look at this card real quick and think about what the intentions were when somebody was drawing it. I think it's a little bit weird when we have like perfect looking people. Even when there's like a television show and there's nobody who has like a quirky, nerdy look, or at least has like, I don't know, something unique about themselves. It's just kind of like, okay, so you wanted it to be about looks. But this is a card that's trying to make sure you understand that there's someone who's going to protect you. So I understand the six pack. It's like, no. I work out. I can protect you. Hello, John. How are you doing? Hello, Mind Over Matter. I hope that changes for you. I'm sending you a hug. Ah, okay. My apologies, Brian, for misunderstanding you. Yeah, it's because I spent a semester in Morelos or Cuernavaca, Morelos being the state, and really enjoy other languages. One of the things I really like about doing live streams is seeing the different names that pop up, or even having the opportunity to learn a little bit more about a different culture or a language. I'm really only fluent in English and Spanish, but there are a couple others that I've learned a little bit about. Hey, Mamie, how are you doing? But thank you for clarifying, Brian. Hello, EDM, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday, I like that. Ooh, so we have the Sun and Door to Spirit. I think the temptation here would be to go a little bit too far and really serve up some negative energy to this person who's been overly critical of you. And the advice would be make sure that you are able to stand up for yourself and express your boundaries or inquire as to what's really going on here without venturing into the territory of being a jerk, right? We can stand up for ourselves without telling people that they're idiots, right? We don't have to name call all of that. I think the majority of you already know all of this, but it's a reminder that the best way to be authentic is to let your energy be a little bit immovable. Now, I'm not saying that you should be inflexible and have rules and then never make exceptions. What I'm saying is people should know what they're going to encounter when they deal with you, not because you're boring, but because you're consistent. If you are consistently honest, if you are consistently able to forgive, but you also have boundaries, people like that kind of structure, right? But it's also really good for you to not get influenced by others' energies who might lean a little bit more into that negative or angry energy because it can, you know, undo some of the work that you've been working on. All right, let's get a few from the Path of Shadows and see why this person is so mad. Thank you, Mamie. I think it's because of my experience in sales. I did a lot of cold calling. You have no idea how much cold calling I've done. And right out the gate, you pronounce somebody's name wrong, you're probably going to get a no, right? Most of the time. Cursed Castle. A tower of shadows, crumbling stone, once a golden cage that now shines no more. I think we have somebody who has lived a great life, but is on difficult times right now, or feels like the best of their days are now behind them, and they're seeing somebody else who has the capacity to outdo them. Perfectionism. In the pursuit of perfection, night after night, I've gifted myself 1,000 flaws. This is somebody who is unyielding, and it's making me think of that movie Whiplash. Granted, I only saw it once. It's definitely one of those things that kind of sticks with you, but overly harsh with the drumming. This is someone who's being overly harsh with whatever you're doing. This could just be a family member who's criticizing you for how you live your life or what you spend your money on. This could be a boss who doesn't want to acknowledge that you're actually doing quite well. Hello, Benjamin. How are you doing? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Hello, JT. How's it going? Nymph. In this mundane world, now I roam. Inside this concrete jungle, where is my home? Focusing too much on one's profession can result in a little bit of loneliness and incapacity to really navigate those interpersonal things very well. I'm struggling right now to remember the quote. I think it's from The Shining. Something about all work and no play makes, what was his name? Jack? I don't know. You got to be able to have a balance in your life, right? And this is someone who has lacked that. They may have zero respect for the fact that you have a life in addition to pursuing what you are doing professionally. And, you know, I've seen a lot of people who get upset because they place limits on themselves. I can only do this. I can't do this and this. And then when they see somebody who's doing this and this, they're like, how dare you like make me look like I'm lazy? Yeah, makes Jack a dull boy. Thank you, Mamie. Thank you for subscribing, Benjamin. I appreciate it. Hello, Bithia. How are you doing? Yay. This is the Pulp Tarot. We have the Sun and the Page of Cups in the reverse. You know that this person is upset. If you ask them, what are you really mad about? I think it would be perhaps tempting for some of you to be like, I know you're mad about not having a date ever, but you don't need to take that out on me. I think you know this person is suffering with regards to their social life and whether or not they feel connected to others, and that's part of the issue. They do seem to be a little bit jealous of your ability to handle multiple sides of your life at the same time, still be able to focus on that thing that you love, right? Thank you, Bithia. Let me know if you've got a question or if you'd like me just to pull some cards for you and see what comes out. Okay. Hello, Marit. How are you doing? I start personal questions at about 30 minutes in with priority to those who tip. Hello, Lisa. Most people will tip between like $3 and $10. And then when you tip, you should be able to put your question in so that it pops up and I can see it very clearly. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. So we have the Emperor, the Hermit in the reverse, and the Three of Wands in the reverse. They don't see you as the type to stand up to them. This boss or this family member, I really don't feel like this has anything to do with like a romantic partner. This is somebody who doesn't have romance in their life, and they're frustrated because you have a chance at achieving what you want to, but also having a life. And this might be one of the main areas that they criticize you for. Oh, well, you would have, been better if you hadn't been going out and seeing your friends last night, or you would have this routine memorized if you weren't distracting yourself with text messages from, some hottie, whatever they're criticizing, right? Sounds good, Bithia. And I don't know if I saw Donald's response as to whether or not he would like some cards pulled for that generous tip that he gave. Okay, I did see it. Okay, sounds good, Donald. Hello, I don't know how to pronounce that. Exarik. I hope you're having a good day. Sorry if I apologize, or sorry if I said your name wrong. Three of Cups and the Eight of Cups. This is someone who wants to pressure you into not having a social life because they are jealous of your ability to manage both of these things. So they're specifically attacking your work because they're jealous that you're able to achieve more or less what they have been or are achieving without having to sacrifice that part of your life. Thank you, Michelle. Let me know what your question is, or if you would just like me to pull some random cards for you. Hello, James. How are you doing? Thank you, Lisa. Regarding a family event, I've got you. And thank you for the tip. So just to clarify, we're probably about 12 minutes away or so from the personal questions. I've got Priyanka, Donald, Bithia, Michelle, and Lisa. Michelle, I'll try to keep my eyes out and see if I can get your specification on that. If you just want me to pull some random cards, that works too. All right, we're gonna go with the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. Sounds good. It makes me think of the name Marie, but of course, it's not an M. Wow, Rachel with the quickness. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? We've got the World and the reverse. Somebody who seems to have had the wrong perception and perhaps is thinking back on a particular moment where they had a chance to be with somebody that they love and communicate in an honest way about their interest in that relationship. But it seems like instead this person decided to focus on work. They were like, no, maybe it's just easier if I don't complicate things. Clarity with Sean. Thank you, Michelle. All right. I'm doing well. Thank you, Michelle. So we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse, Death in the reverse, and the Five of Wands. So the reason that they're arguing with you, and like when it's boiled down to its most simple reason, is you have something that they willingly sacrificed, and you have it while also pursuing the thing that they felt like they had to choose. They're thinking about the love life they've sacrificed, the fact that they didn't have a family, or that they tend to spend most of their free time by themselves. In contrast, you found a way to let both of these things flourish in your life, and this is why they criticize your work, to make it seem like you aren't actually capable of doing both and that you need to prioritize the work more. Page of Pentacles. So I feel like you're able to stand up to this person and explain, I think I've been able to accomplish the list that has been put forth. I think I have, been able to accomplish what I need to in a reasonable way. I feel like the criticisms are based in some other justification. If you've got a problem, be specific about it. If you want me to use a different process, identify it for me. If you feel like I haven't done something by the deadline, let me know. But as far as I know, it looks like I'm doing everything that you asked me to do, and you're still over there whining. Don't get too sassy, though. Hello, Shelly. How are you doing? Hello, Roman. What's up? Page of Cups in the reverse. Two of Cups. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So I don't think you should continue in this relationship, or I don't know why you're spending so much time with your friends. You need to be studying more. You need to be working extra hours. You need to be shadowing somebody. Maybe you get them to come right out and say it. You don't have time for that. That's foolishness. That's a waste of your time. You're too smart for that. And I think that's when it's finally put into a very small little nugget of truth for this person. You keep claiming that that's the truth, but if you were to tell me whether or not you're happy right now, what would your response be? If I were to ask you if you were lonely or if you had any regrets because you didn't connect with people or you let that one get away from you, what would your response be? That's right. You can't defend your position because the truth is you are lonely. The truth is you're mad because I am unwilling to let go of what makes me feel human, being connected to other people. I'm going to be able to be successful in what I want. I'm going to be able to follow the plan or do what is expected of me, but I am not going to sacrifice the things that make me feel like I belong or the connections that make me happy. There are some really beautiful tarot decks out there. This is one of my favorites. Hello, Jake. How's it going? Hello, Crumb. Queen of Swords. So I think for those of you who are able to do this in a respectful but very direct way, I applaud you. I think we have somebody who says, no. I've seen enough and I've listened to you talk, and I think there's something incongruent here. There's something that doesn't match up because you're telling me that I can't do something that I'm literally currently doing. How many times have you read one of those like reels or memes or whatever that are like, scientists say that you can't stick your tongue out and touch your third toe at the same time. It's impossible. And then everybody's like, wait, no, I can do it. I made that one up, so don't like go look for it. This is someone who's like, you told me I couldn't do it, but I literally just did it. I'm doing it right now. So like, you're wrong. Are you mad because you're wrong? Are you mad because you weren't willing to take that risk all those years ago? Don't be mad at me about it. You got to be a little bit cautious. You don't want to get overly personal because I don't know, again, if this is a boss, you know, slightly different rules, right? But if this is someone who's being completely unreasonable with you, I don't blame you for feeling like it's time to say, enough's enough. Let's be 100% real about what's going on here. Because you don't deserve whatever they're doing. All right, I'm going to get a few from the situations deck, and then we'll start with the personal questions. What else do we have? Lost, ghosted, blocked, cut off. Journal, writing, diary, keeping notes. Oh, really? You know how in the Notebook, at the end, sorry, spoiler alert, the mom admits to the love interest that she had to say goodbye to because her family was pressuring her? I think it's similar to that. This person who wants to give you problems and say you're not studying hard enough, or you shouldn't be distracted, or you need to focus on your work, there's no time for friends, there's no time for romantic relationships, is because this person has maybe been writing, or maybe you have heard about this person's lost love. I think you know about it. Also kind of reminds me of Marilla in Anne of Green Gables, and what she says to Anne towards the very end about Gilbert Blythe. So we've got insatiable. Okay. So we could have somebody who is getting very critical because they contribute like financially somehow. If this is not somebody who literally pays you to work for them, this could be like a parent who is contributing to the cost of your education and feels like you're not studying enough. But I do feel like there's unrealistic expectations from this person. They feel like they can tell you, you know, how many hours a day you should be working, or that you shouldn't get any social time, but I'm pretty sure there's science behind the idea of work hard, play hard, and needing to have that time for rest and recuperation so that you can be at your best. There's some sense of urgency here, so it could be someone's trying to find a job. It could be somebody is competing in some sort of competition. Maybe there is, you know, a lot of focus on somebody's career trajectory, but I don't see any inability to handle these things. It's like you've just got to know how to deal with time management and communication. Maybe that was a struggle for the person who loses their temper on you. It was a good one, wasn't it? I just rewatched it and it was like I was, you know, 7 years old again or whatever. All-time favorite for sure. Right up there with like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Chronicles of Narnia. Although that's the books are way better. I mean, movies have been attempted and some of them are decent, but some books are just difficult to translate to movies, I guess. So we have cleansing. This is an important step where you can identify your boundaries and explain that you're not a robot. Look, I understand that there is an objective. I understand that there's a goal that I'm going after. But just as I need to break to drink some water or eat some food, so too do humans need breaks that include some sort of social interaction. It's how it is. It's like, gotta be a million studies out there that say that, right? Exactly. You've got to have a sense of feeling connected. If you don't feel connected, you turn into a robot. Maybe that's what this person has been dealing with. Anyways, I'm proud of you for standing up to this person. Just remember to keep it respectful. Don't need to make it worse than it is. All right, what do we want for the personal questions? We're going to start with the cats rule the earth. And just a reminder, we've got Priyanka, then Donald, then Bithya, then Michelle, and Lisa. Hello, Molly. Hello, Brandy. How are you doing? Exactly. Yep. It's a little bit of a tightrope, isn't it? All right. So for Priyanka, is Mokuldev waiting for a message from Priyanka? Yes. And not even just like, you know, hanging out with other people and checking the phone, more so hanging out alone, because I feel like there's a desire for a phone call or, you know, maybe even video chat. This is someone who wants to make sure that when it's easy to communicate, they don't have anything blocking that, right? What are his feelings currently towards Priyanka? Two of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Like wanting to know if the long-term relationship thing would work out. Pondering what it would be like to have a family or live together or, you know, choose each other. Wanting to identify a time to see each other. See how things go when you're together. So it's like a little bit of excitement, but also a little bit of nerves, right? Good luck with that, Priyanka. We've got Donald up next. What message do we have for Donald, please? The Star in the reverse, the Six of Wands in the reverse, the Lovers in the reverse. There's a possibility of failing or feeling like something has been a waste of time if a decision is made in haste. So with this Lovers card being in the reverse, this is saying make sure when you make the decision that you know exactly what's going on. With the Star in the reverse, I feel like there's something that has been hidden from you. What else? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Eight of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like somebody is going to do something again that you wish they would not do. So don't make a decision regarding whether or not you can trust someone until you get confirmation on their actions or their choices pertaining to a different situation. It's like I'm waiting to see if you were a trustworthy friend to somebody else before I decide to trust you, you know, let you borrow my bike or something, you know? So be a little cautious there, Donald. And thank you again. So for Bithya, we've got random. Let's see what we've got for Bithya, please. That's correct, Donald. So be cautious. It could be somebody who is not good with money. For Bithya, we've got the Page of Swords, King of Swords in the reverse, and the Knight of Swords. Bithya, you're going to get the truth about something that someone attempted to lie to you about. And I feel like you were initially kind of like, that doesn't sound right. And maybe they doubled down. Maybe they're like, no, I'm pretty sure that's right. And then something gets posted, or you look it up online, or you check with somebody else. You were right. So don't give in. I feel like you know the truth about something, even though somebody's going to lie to your face about it. Knight of Cups, Seven of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, this is someone who's trying to make a situation sound better than it actually was, and you're going to get proof that what you suspected was true is in fact true. Someone has been selfish and they're going to be anxious and kind of freaking out when you're able to confirm that you were right. All right, so please be cautious, Bithia, and I'm wishing you some protective energy with that. Michelle's up next. We've got, what is the clarity for the situation with Sean, the ex? Tower. 10 of Cups. The Tower is drastic change. And 10 of Cups is love. Feeling like I belonged. So we have somebody who has suffered and been sad, but has a sense of recovering or healing from the heartache. But what remains is still a strong desire. Thinking about the happy times that you spent together. Four of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Pentacles. I do think that you two are thinking on similar wavelengths, but perhaps at slightly different timings. I think you're both wondering whether or not it's time to let go. There's still fond memories, but I think there's an acceptance. Like, it's gonna go one way or the other. I don't know if I have any control over it, but at least I had some, you know, good times, and I feel like I'm, you know, getting better. Two of Wands in the reverse. I think because of uncertainty and feeling like there could be any type of reaction from you, this is someone who's decided, I just need to let go because I don't know how to fix it. But there's still love there. It's like I wish I had the boldness to reach out, but I don't think I do. That's the Tower. What was I just using? That one. Why did he run? The Tower is something usually sudden that changes. There's something here that made him freak out as far as responsibility or obligation. So the long-term commitment. Yeah. This is someone who is really nervous about staying comfortable for too long. I don't know if this is because of a childhood where, you know, he moved around a lot, but there was definitely some concern. Like, what are you going to expect from me? Where does this go? I don't know if I can really do that. So this is just fear. Fear of commitment. Let's see. Remember, Michelle, you deserve to be treated with respect and communicated with honestly. So I wish you luck with that situation. Hello, Deborah. Thank you, Dana. Can Bond trust the people? That he told about you? To keep it a secret? We shall find out. Thank you for the tip, Dana. I've got Lisa up next, and then Dana, you would be after that. Sorry, guys, I forgot how to shuffle. What do we have for Lisa? We've got a family event. Lisa would like some clarity around that family event, please. Emperor in the reverse. Ace of Cups, Five of Swords. This feels to me like somebody who smiles in your face and then steals your $20 bill when you look away. This feels like somebody who has trouble controlling their impulses. And I feel like we have a smiling, very sweet, you know, I'm a good friend kind of energy, masking the true intent, which is like, gonna steal your television, or I'm going to steal your computer. There's not very nice energy coming from this person who wears the mask. Strength, Seven of Swords, and the reverse, Three of Wands. There's someone who sees this person for who they are, but they may not be directly related. They may be like a family friend, or it could be somebody who I feel like they don't really like this person, but they're right. They have, I think, been suspicious from the get-go that this person is not, this could be like a scamming type of relationship, right? Like I claim to be in love, or I claim to be happy with this person, but really what I want is money. So there's this question of, do I take action? This person's out for money. Yeah, I think the question here is, what do I do if I don't trust this person and I'm worried that they're taking advantage of someone that I care about? Document. Document what's going on, keep track of things. Someone may need to be a little bit of an internet sleuth. Page of Wands in the reverse, this person is not going to give you much to work on, but I do feel like you can find something out about them. They're bad news. They've done things like this in the past, so you may be able to get some sort of confirmation from a previous person if you get those details. But yeah, I don't trust this person, and whoever this strength individual is, I did ask, I don't think it's you. I think it's somebody that you're close to or somebody who agrees with you. They are right. So I'm going to send protective energy to your family member, whoever this is, and I hope things get addressed, because that's some dishonest intentions here. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for checking out the live stream. All right, let's move on to Dana's question. Can Bond trust the people he told about our relationship to keep it a secret? Uh-oh. Dana, yes, I think there are people who are pretty trustworthy. I'm a little bit surprised at that. It may not be like smooth sailing. It might have to be like, hey, can you like work on, you know, just not saying something about so-and-so, or can you make sure that you don't make a facial expression that's super obvious? But I also feel like there's something here about him not saying as much as you maybe think he has. So, you know, he's kind of pulled back a little bit on that. Priyanka, let's see what that means, shall we? Is he actually busy? Oh yeah, he's busy. But we have the Two of Cups as well. It's like, yeah, I can't really talk right now, but there's still these thoughts of romance and what could potentially happen. And thinking about a date. There's something here about him not really wanting a lot of, or maybe one person in particular to know about this date. But I don't know. I don't feel like it's mean or cruel intention type stuff. It's just like, I don't think I want to tell too many people. I want to see how things go first, you know? He is actually busy. All right, I'm going to leave it there. It's time for me to eat some food. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And I will see you on the next